Titled Truth and Consequences. It is meant to exceed the requirements of Project 2 and the Competent Communication Manual, Organize Your Speech. The objective is to select an appropriate outline with a clear message, strong opening and conclusion, and appropriate transitions, and supporting material directly contributing to the message. His speech today is going to be 5 to 7 minutes long. This is going to be his sentence. And we already know that Tom's a good speaker because he's entertained us so well in the past. So, would you give a warm welcome to Tom? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, good morning.
Morning.
I want to talk to you today about a risk that I have seen our young people take for a good many years now. And I'm wondering if you would agree with me that the cost of that risk can be great. I'd like to use my hometown as a metaphor for any town USA, because this risk is not exclusive to Oswego, New York. It happens all over the country, and it happens all the time. I'd like to give you a couple of examples of what happens when we take this risk and it goes horribly wrong. And I'd like you to think about the reaction of the community, us, to the risk. And I'd like you to decide in your own minds whether or not it's appropriate. In 1995, a 17-year-old high school student named Johnny Deeb decided to get together with a group of his friends. They thought it would be fun to go to the local grocery store and purchase some alcohol and go back to the home of one of the students for a basketball game. Eventually, basketball got old. So they decided to go in, crack open the alcohol, and have a good time. They were certainly taking a risk. Johnny Deeb took an even bigger risk when he came home about 11:30 on that Friday night. Got into his mother's car and took off up the interstate, crossed the center line, and got hit head on by a 21-year-old who was in his first month of driving a tractor trailer. Johnny Deeb didn't survive. The community mourned him. The community praised him for what a wonderful young man he was. The community talked about how amazing this young man was and how much potential he had. I'd like to fast forward in time to last month. Same community, Oswego, New York. 5 20-something guys had been drinking at an apartment. They all got into a car, took their alcohol with them, and started driving around town. They came around the curve near the Oswego Speedway, ironically enough, at 81 miles an hour. They missed the curve and slammed head-on into a telephone pole. The car disintegrated. 3 of the men died, leaving behind 8 kids. Once again, the community heaped praise on these young men. Talked about what wonderful citizens they were. There was a young lady who was stopped at a stop sign right next to that pole, not 10 yards from the spot where that car slammed the pole. My cousin was walking his dog within 50 yards of the spot where the car hit that pole. Currently, Oswego is fighting an issue with a business that's been allowed to open in the community that runs a bus, actually a series of them, between the college campus and the local taverns and bars and house parties, transporting students back and forth to and from the campus. This has become known as the drunk bus. Ladies and gentlemen, the incidents I'm describing are not exclusive to Oswego. They happen in cities and towns and in families like ours all over the country. What I want to ask you today is the cost greater than the risk? And how do we communicate that to these young people? Why are we not talking about the effect that Johnny Deeb's accident had on the 21-year-old who now has to live with the consequences of what happened for the rest of his life? Why are we not talking about the effect that the car hitting the telephone pole 50 feet from this woman, why are we not talking about the effect this has on her life? Or maybe on my cousin's life who witnessed this accident? Why can we not face the truth about the consequences of drinking and driving? I am asking each of you not just to sit by and watch this continue to happen. I'm asking all of us in this room to act, to talk to our families, to talk to the young people in the communities where we have influence. I'm asking each of us to take responsibility as citizens, and I'm asking us to call out the parents of this community and others to take responsibility, to teach their young people that this behavior has consequences. 8 kids left without fathers, families torn apart. Drinking and driving, not a good idea. And this is not everybody else's problem. If we don't take that responsibility and we don't act, think about this. The life you save could be your own. Mr. Toastmaster.